Yo, what's up? I am here streaming. Oh, all right. Hopefully, we're live on YouTube and Twitch right now. This is the Imola World Championships course. Sorry, I don't really fully 100% know what I'm doing on Twitch here, so hopefully this is all sending exactly where I wanted it to and all that stuff. Let's see. I want to get the chat talked about. So this is a Magic Roads course of the Imola World Championship course. Hey, yes, mic check, mic check. Can you hear me, George? Huh? Can you hear me? And are you on Twitch or are you on YouTube? Let me know. Audio is the hardest part of live streaming, especially multi-streaming to multiple platforms. Such a nightmare. Let's see. Let's. Got it as in you can hear me? I hope that's what got it means. Sweet. Cool, cool. Okay, good to hear. I'm going to assume that means everything's working okay. I'm still getting used to using Restream, so I don't know. It could be weird somehow at some point. We'll see. Anyway, this is a Magic Roads course of the Imola World Championship course. Honestly, I just wanted to jump back into racing today. I don't know, Murphy. I don't know if that's going to be the move today. So I'm coming back from a week off, basically. A week at the beach where I did not ride at all. So I wanted to get some mileage in today, some volume in today. And I also wanted to work on this whole multi-streaming setup. So I'm streaming on YouTube and on Twitch right now, which is why if I'm like staring at things confused, I'm using Restream. It's a whole thing. I'm just not sure where all of my buttons and my widgets are and all that, you know? Yeah, I guess I do have fresh legs. That's fair. That's something, I guess. I did do the thing that I always do, which is run on the beach, and as a result, just completely blow myself up. Like, do a run on the beach and just like completely annihilate myself. That's like a go-to move for me. So that's always good. Cool. You're talking about the chat, Murphy, with more latency when it's working nicely. George, I'm not sure if I have the legs back after VLF. This is my second ride, or no, third. I did one outside yesterday, and yesterday was weird. Yesterday felt the sensations were bad, but the numbers were good. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. So I was hoping for some more people in this race. I saw a lot signed up. I don't know, it is Saturday though. It is what it is, but here we are, the Imola Worlds course. Should be cool. I was kind of debating ride outside, ride inside, try out this whole multi-streaming thing, like what was the plan kind of. And figured, so so close, Murphy. I did a crit, the weekly like steering enabled crit on Zwift this morning. Won that. So that's something. Let's see. Start corner here. Another sharp corner. So now I got to get myself out of like Zwift mode mentally and into RGT mode. But yeah, I won this Zwift crit. If you want to go back on my YouTube and check that out. So not a bad way to come back from a little time off, coming in with a win. And a win and a successful test of Twitch, I think. I think I've got it figured out. Murphy, I don't know if you've been following along in the RGT group on Facebook, but there's a guy who's putting together a third-party website to compile the Magic Road codes. So it's just a place where people make a course like this. Code goes up there. And then you can just look it up. So this road should be just up there on the Magic Roads like third-party website, and you could just pull the code and ride it whenever. Or if you don't have a premium RGT, yeah. See, because I'm so active in the RGT group, the algorithm, my entire Facebook feed is like Zwift and RGT stuff now, which is fine. Because really, I only got Facebook to look at event groups and stuff. I would never have even gotten Facebook if it weren't for, that was kind of the only way that people were promoting music and shows. So that's why I ended up there, and now it's the only way that people can organize and talk about e-racing. So, all right, I do not want to split the group this early in. So I'm going to set a manageable tempo on this little kicker. This seems like a cool punchy course. Anybody in the chat see the women's race today? Ooh, little sneak it. Women's race was I guess Murphy must have seen it because he referenced it earlier. Yeah, basically that's like what Facebook is good for, is figuring out what races and concerts are happening. In terms of like social networking, like just talking to people or posting stuff, I don't know. I don't think I've done a hard post to my Facebook wall in a long time. So we've got a few cool things going on RGT right now. This is one, but this is just like totally community event that Andras Beck Tribal set up. Yeah, I'll admit, Murphy, I didn't watch the whole thing either. I kind of stroked through. Good race. So this was literally just a guy who's an RGT user wanted to race the Imola course. So he made the Magic Road, put it out here, and put a few races together, posted them in the group. Here we are. Let's see if we can close it down. Back on the wheel. But RGT has like an official competition going on with stages where they have made the final time trial route from the tour the final day where Roglic got overhauled. That course is up on RGT right now as a real road, and they're basically doing like a time trial competition. Like, just get out there and put down your best time, and I think you can win a Stage's head unit or a Stage's heart rate monitor. So, Murphy, all of the I agree about auto racing courses. Speaking of which, in that group on Facebook, someone made Magic Road courses of several F1 courses. So the Spa Francorchamps course is up there. I forget what other one, but they're working on putting together like a complete Magic Roads of F1 courses. So I'm thinking it would be cool to do a series with like series points and stuff that's all F1 tracks, like weekly or something. I know there's a lot of guys looking to figure out the RGT platform before the upcoming Project Echelon stuff, which if you guys don't know about the Project Echelon stuff, check in the description. Oh. These are two guys I don't think I've raced before. Yeah, George, I've seen that. I think it's mostly for scientific purposes. People are curious how differently those routes will play out with RGT drafting and cornering dynamics. And honestly, I'm pretty interested too. But yeah, I think a well done, well smoothed Magic Road of an F1 course would make a perfect circuit race. Yeah, Murphy, so that time trial was wild. If you want to ride it, it's up on RGT at the Magic Road, or as a real road, and you can ride it whenever. Like, no event required. Literally just get out there and smash out a time whenever you want, which is pretty cool, I think. Let's see. I'm turning off my preview window so as to save a little bit of GPU. You guys let me know if anything gets hairy on the visual end. So it looks like this is the group. Ooh. Yeah, science. That science being how much better is the dynamic on RGT. I gotta say, I had fun racing the Crit-On Zwift earlier, but it did feel weird going from a full month of RGT over to Zwift. It was definitely a learning curve, and I was also using the Sturzo, so just like remembering that I could steer. I gotta say, for that being like the sweet, yeah, Murphy, let me know if you want to race, but I was kind of thinking the same thing. I might check out that TT course. Seems like a good time. Well, a type 2 fun time. I think the added little bit of lag on the chat is because I've got a multi-chat situation going where it should be compiling my chat from Twitch and YouTube. So I think that takes a second to do. Really just monitoring these guys through the turns here. I felt pretty good. Looks like we're coming to the, I think this is the big climb. Is this the big climb on course? I don't know. You guys tell me. Yeah, Murphy, I'm hoping that'll get better as time goes on RGT. Because it does slow you down, maybe a little too much. I'm trying to just meet it on its own terms for now. And just sort of accept. Billy, I haven't heard about the Isle of Man TT on Magic Roads. Tell me about it. I've heard about the final stage of the Tour de France TT on Magic Roads. Oh, I'm blowing it up. I'm actually gonna set up a little toward the top and let these guys get back on. I really just want to put some more volume on today. I don't necessarily need a ton of intensity since I already did that crit earlier. So my legs were not super snappy. So yeah, Billy, tell us about the Isle of Man TT. Is that one of the British cycling time trials races? That's another cool thing, is the official governing body for time trials and hill climbs in Great Britain, the CTT, is doing like official time trials on RGT too. So that is cool. Yo, anybody in the chat over on Twitch? I want to know how that's looking. So I did stream that that crit on Twitch, but I did not hit the thing where it saves the video for you to watch later, because it was the first one I've done on Twitch. So I can't go back and see how it looked and sounded and all that stuff. I hear that Twitch is supposed to look a little better. It doesn't compress your video quite as hard. So we'll see. Let's look back. Yeah, we're gonna group back up. That's the plan. Group back up at the top, boys. This is a gnarly climb for a circuit race. Ooh. Should be an interesting race tomorrow. My pick is Wout. It's got to be somebody who rides really well without much team support. So yo, am I still live on YouTube? You guys let me know. It seems like I might be on Twitch only. I don't know. Oh, hey Murphy, am I still on Twitch or still on YouTube? It's telling me there's an error on something on YouTube. Oh, okay. Weird. Okay, I wonder if I just like refresh the chat. Let's see. For some reason, YouTube chat is not populating over here. Let's see. Well, I can look at y'all's chat. Hey, Paul. We got to get back on before this downhill. So I can see you guys again, but so if you want your chat to populate up here, I don't know why this is happening, but it's only taken the chat from Twitch. So twitch.com/Jonathan Crane. If you want to be in the chat. Huh. This is not an encore VLF though, for sure. I'm gonna look to get a little bit more scientific between now and the Project Echelon stuff. I don't know how much I can talk about that, but I'm trying to secure a ride for the invite-only portion of that. Well, I just started Twitch today, Murphy, so custom emotes should be tomorrow, maybe? I don't know. If anybody knows how I could, like, reconnect my my chat, that info would be appreciated. But I have no clue. Yeah, I don't know how to reconnect the chat. So I'm just going to be switching back and forth. I've got YouTube. I've got your chat over here in its own window. If anybody knows, if anybody's a chat wizard, let me know. But that's part of why I wanted to do a couple races today. I wanted to maybe try and work some of these kinks out on some random races before. I really want to get all this super dialed before the Project Echelon stuff, because honest, if we're being real, I will not be anywhere close to the strongest guy in those races. Those will be legit IRL pro racer fields. And so I think a large part of my role there is just going to be documenting the suffering and bringing that back to you guys. But yeah, honestly, Murphy, I may be the early breakaway TV time guy. Except the TV time I'm getting will be on my own stream. But I fully expect to just get absolutely spanked in those races. So I think the value that I can bring is going to be in the form of really quality live streams. We're not sure what the exact roster is. So how it works is you can have 12 people on a team. You can field up to 6 per race. and you have to field 4. So every team will have between 4 and 6 riders every race, hopefully, or else they'll be getting fined. But I think we're going to see, and I hope we're going to see, some really savvy tactical racing. And I think I could actually probably help, even if I'm not in the conversation to win the race. It would be exciting to be a helpful teammate one time here and there to pull back a breakaway, something. So that's my plan, will be whatever the team needs me to do, and then just kind of documenting. I'll probably be on Discord. Yeah, the ButcherBox kit is great. That's why I'm still rocking the ButcherBox kit, as Murphy has noted. Murphy, since almost everyone else is on YouTube, you are monopolizing the in-stream chat up here. If anybody wants on the stream, twitch.com/JonathanCrane. Twitch.tv? Okay, it's twitch.tv. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be a worker bee in those races. And I'll probably be on Discord, so hopefully I get some good Discord audio, and you guys can sort of hear the chatter from the team, because I think it should be pretty interesting. My plan is to be racing with an esports team. Yeah, Murphy, they're going to have corresponding amateur events with all of them, I believe. There's a new podcast on the Wide Angle Podium Network about e-racing called Nowhere Fast. Check that out. Yeah, it should be cool. Like, I've always wanted to do some of these races and never had a chance to, like Tour of America's Dairyland, Gateway Cup. So virtual is not the exact same thing, but it will be cool to virtually race some of those courses and in fields that the fields for these should have a lot of the same people as the real life version. We got a weird flex, but okay right here. Uh-oh. I don't know if these guys are trying to give me the old one too. We'll get there. Yeah, I think that's, I don't recognize either of these guys from Vive la France. So I'm going to assume, I've said it before, but a lot of times e-racing, even at a high level, it's like Cat 5 tactics with Cat 2 power. And part of that is because guys try to race it like it's a real race. Try to do the exact same stuff they would in real life. And then part of that is because there's not as much of a team dynamic. So you get that same effect as in an IRL race where if somebody goes up the road, everyone panics immediately. I wonder if I just get rid of this chat and then open it back up. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I'll get it back on this climb. Nope. Still only got Twitch. Well, YouTube, I can see you guys. The stream just can't see you guys. Yeah, it has gone quiet. I wonder if there's some kind of problem with YouTube. I did just check on it, and it was still there. So I don't know. All right, let's set a good hard tempo here. I am so I was watching the race this morning on this course, but I was admittedly not paying a ton of attention. So I am flying a little bit blind on this one. It's I don't really know how long these times are. So I'm kind of just relying on the mini map, which at least the mini map in RGT is good. Yeah, Paul, talk amongst yourselves. I mean, I can talk to you. It's just not auto-populating into the stream. So, thanks, Billy. Appreciate it. You can't just go there in the browser, though, right? Maybe that's my problem. I need to be downloading stuff rather than just letting it run in the browser. Because I am running the chat in my browser window. But yeah, Paul, you guys talk to me, I'll see it. I've got you on my screen. You guys just can't see it. Looks like we've cracked Pharrell, or maybe he rage quit, or he had to drop it. Just you and me, heroics. Interestingly, I think this guy got a Belgian flag, but I think he's wearing a kit for the Vole Apparel factory team. I think that's what kit that is, which is another USA Crits team, I think. Pretty sure. It does drive it home, though. USA Crits teams have the best kit. That's just a fact. Paul, what have you been up to since Viva La France ended? Are you one of those maniacs that just went
straight back to racing. I had to take some time for real. Seems like I might be cracking this guy a little bit. Maybe that's wishful thinking. I don't know if I want to crack him. Yeah, Paul says he's just been eating or sleeping. Same. I went to the beach and all I really did was eat and sleep. That was pretty much it. Billy, what about you? You've been starved for content. Kind of did go from a nearly infinite amount of stuff to watch to nothing last week. Got to keep it fast here. I think I might be able to put the nail in the coffin. So that's a question. Should I put the nail in the coffin? With 40K left to go. This is going to be a big race. Uh-oh. Why'd you have to unfollow Laverick, Billy? Did I miss a controversy? Admittedly, slightly out of the loop last week. So something happened with Laverick. I missed it. Welcome back, Henry. Internet is just being weird in general today. My YouTube chat not making its way over to Twitch as it should be, or over to Restream. I don't know. As long as my race keeps working, I'll be good though. Woo, this may be a long one. So that's one cool thing I like about RGT though, is there's a lot of opportunity to play with the format. Interesting, Billy. Is that a Billy? Is that a glitch stream? Not to make excuses for him, but he's probably pretty frustrated with the new lockdowns in the UK affecting his hill climb season. Hey, Patrick. Yeah, my leg, it's weird. Patrick, that's how my legs are feeling. For those of you just joining us, Twitch chat is up here. YouTube chat's not popping through for some reason. My legs feel pretty good. Well, it's so weird. Like the numbers are good, the sensations are bad, if that makes sense. So I don't feel amazing, but when I try to do over threshold, I can do it. So yeah, Murphy, maybe so. Maybe I am Vanderbreggen here. Looks like that one guy who was with us rage quit. Very cool. I may be eating my words on rage quitting when it comes to the Project Echelon stuff. There is a non-zero chance that I'll get in those races and just be blasted out the back immediately. Because like I always say, I'm like a good amateur or a bad pro. Or Rohit went too hard on that downhill. I'm putting it in where it counts here. Let's be 100 meters. I'll check that out, Billy. Interesting. And I'll try not to do whatever Laverick did, made you unfollow. Probably should have grabbed some food for an effort this long. Oh well, huh? I was not fully counting on this being 2 hours with so much time trialing. There were a lot more people signed up, but it does go that way sometimes. I do think RGT should lower the threshold for signups. To where if you get, I don't know, 10 signups, it'll show up on public in the app. I think that would help. So it's currently 20. You have to get 20 signups for it to populate in the app. Okay, let's go over threshold a little bit. Keep it rolling. This is a really good course. I would love to race this with a huge group. So Andras did set up multiple times for this. I think he did the same at Viva Front stages 4 times, spread evenly throughout the day. So that does hurt attendance somewhat for each one. Will do, Billy. I'll check that out. I think I watched a little bit of that as it was happening, but I didn't catch the whole thing. I saw him getting really frustrated with people not wanting to go with him, but you kind of can't blame him on Zwift where the mechanics favor the group so much more. It just makes sense to stay in the group. I don't try to watch these corners and not overdo it. One cool thing here, so up there you got the power graph under my power numbers. You can see when it's trending up and trending down, and you can also see when brakes are applied on the line in red. So obviously, if your line is trending way up and it's red, that was a mistake. You pedaled too hard into a corner. Like right there, probably should have let off a little sooner. We try to punch out of these corners, get back up to speed pretty good. Get my music going here. So what are you guys' picks for world champs? Who's got picks? I already told you mine is loud. I don't know, Billy. I'm only ever using Twitch on the desktop, so I do not know about Android desktop app or Android display app. I will be doing some serious Googling after this to try and figure out what's going on with my trying to figure out what's going on with my chat. It worked all the way through the Zwift crit, so I don't know. Heroics is really trying to eat into the gap here. It's a really good, punchy, technical course. Let's put it down over this little bump. Hey, Patrick says he got DQ'd yesterday. First race since knee operation. Getting DQ'd for too many watts is a good thing, I think. So that's awesome. At this point, I think I'm gonna have to rely on good technical RGT skills. Stay away. This dude's been putting down very respectful chase. Like right here, makes sense to open it up a little bit because it's just flat and straight. Whereas I can back off a lot through the technical turns and a little on the down. Yeah, Murphy says riding races he can barely hold on to. Good training. That's kind of how I'm looking at the yeah. That's kind of how I'm looking at the Project Echelon races. Like, if I'm on my limit just to hang, it'll be great training. And speaking of elaborate training, that's a good example of why I'm not trying to put all my eggs in the basket of a road season or a cross season that may or may not happen. at all. Oh man, Andras, you are a true savage making this 2-lap race. All right, at least I kind of know the course now. What did the real world champs do? Like 5 laps? Insane. Patrick, that's so lame. He says people in his race were intentionally letting up to stay under the watt per kg limit. So stupid. If you can go over the limit for your category, you should be in the next category up. Hey, for whatever reason, the YouTube chat is back. I don't know. Somebody at YouTube just flipped the switch from broken to fixed. Well, all right. Oh, Murphy. Murphy, you do work in tech, right? Billy, that's because speed is also largely a function of how big the group is and how technical the course is. So a race with a lot of people will go faster, even without all of them being stronger. And a race with a lot more climbs and on RGT corners will go slower. So really, watt per kg just sort of normalizes for the uphills and the downhills, basically. 5 watts a kilo on a climbing course is a lot slower than 5 watts a kilo on a flat course, but the effort is the same. So I really think the other way to do it would be how it's done in real life, which is like the USA Cycling system, which I will explain after this rise. Yeah, Murphy, I agree. It's funny, there are working ranking systems with so many games that seed your online play. They can honestly do it like that. Looks like I may have cracked old buddy back there. Murphy, I have seen the quality points thing lead to some wacky stuff where people will quit races because they're not going to get as many points as they wanted or whatever. Yeah, agreed. Like, the systems exist out there. Road results being a good example. All right, back over at TP for the ramp. Damn, that would have been 6 points, Murphy. I honestly feel like the Swift system, it's fine for what it is. It's just the Swift system is really kind of made for beginners and random people who have not raced much on the road. Yeah, Billy, that's a fact of really the way Zwift racing works. It's a game of doing the minimum you have to do to stay in the blob for most of it, and then sprinting. And if you can do all that, you're golden. Looks like I'm still putting time into Barrel West over here, so that's good. Yeah, Billy, that's how it works. It's not based. So to get back to Patrick, you can go over 5 watts or whatever the limit is. You can go over it in any race and not get DQ'd. It's about your average for 20 minutes. So as long as you don't go, like if you're in a C race, what does that cap at? 2 watts a kilo? 3? 3. So if you're in a C race, you could do 4 watts a kilo for 10 minutes and you're okay. Yeah, Murphy's right. It's like basically the software is kind of just applying a constant FTP test. Like if it detects an average 20 minutes that puts you at a better FTP than what you're already at, it's going to reevaluate you. Yeah, almost everyone I beat in my race earlier today had a higher watt kg than me, but not a higher higher sprint power. And it came to a 5-up sprint, so that's what it is. RGT is still kind of the Wild West. Ooh, long time. That one. Ugh. Yeah, Zwift's that inbuilt algorithm is only looking for completely impossible performances, basically. Pretty much cube, or something that's intentionally miscalibrated. Yeah, I think they actually bumped the standards up after the gate got coned. I wonder if that's also not a function of the little pro verification jersey badge. Gives you a little more leeway on the top end, maybe. This course is brutal. Can't imagine 5 times up this. Yeah, you can get approved by Zwift as a real pro. It's like getting Twitter verified. They have someone who looks at your info, make sure it's really you. Huh. Yeah, I agree, Murphy. I think those complaints come from guys that aren't punchy at all. So they're kind of at the top end of the category, FTP-wise, but they haven't trained their max power. So when those accelerations really go, they can't get there unless they drag it back slowly, which is hard to do on Zwift. But I will say, that's also exactly what happens to triathletes in crits and real road races. Even strong triathletes. I've seen like pro level, I don't really know how that distinction works in triathlon, but guys who have their pro card, yeah, Lionel Sanders. I've seen guys like that get dropped from a Cat 4 crit because they have the average speed, but when it's broken into a bunch of little accelerations, at some point they get tailed off. And when they do, everybody who's still in the group is able to recover minus for 1 or 2 guys pulling. So that group goes way faster, which I apologize if I'm getting into like bike racing 101 for some of you guys, but I hope that I can bring some like gaming, streaming people into the cycling world and vice versa. Trying to be kind of at the nexus of those two ideas. All right, let's really save something on this descent. Put a big gap on Heroist. I think I finally snapped him. That said, 20K is a long way. So, but yeah, Murphy, I have a ton of respect for Lionel Sanders. That dude is an absolute beast, for sure. But the skill set he's good at, what he trains and what he works on, is just going fast and steady in a straight line, basically. So speeding up and slowing down, he doesn't really train that. Turning in like a very technical sense, turning in a bunch riding in general, he doesn't really train bunch riding. So you put a guy like that in a bunch, I think it's often frustrating for those guys because they feel like the bunch is sort of muting their capability. Because when you're in a group, in a bunch, you can't really just go, like you can't say, I'm comfortable, Lionel Sanders probably comfortable at 350 watts. You can't say, I'm comfortable at 350, so I'll just peg it there. You have to constantly be evaluating everyone who's around you, braking or coasting. Yeah, I think Sanders did see a big opportunity to, versus outside pack racing, he could kind of apply his skill set a little bit more to inside group racing. But in a real life pack, I think those small, even if it's not a Sergi race, even if it's a pretty steady peloton, I think those sort of strong triathlete type dudes get pretty discouraged by all those little micro, let off the pedals for a second and coast, gap goes out, bring it back, like all that sort of moving wheel to wheel, choosing who to follow, all that stuff, repositioning for the wind. I think a lot of times they feel like a dog on a leash or something, It is true that they can make for monster domestiques if they have the skill, because that's another skill you have to train. Like, I've never worked on dropping back to the car, getting bottles, and then coming back to the group. That's hard, and that's something you got to learn. I won't tell Marcus, Patrick. Your secret is safe with my stream. Do you mean just you don't have, when you go to sprint, you just don't have the snap right now? Or physiologically it hurts your knee to do that type of effort? Because if it's just that sprinting is hurting, or if sprinting is hurting, definitely don't do it. You need to heal up. But if it's just that you've lost that top end, I would recommend just doing some VO2 max workout sessions. I don't know what platform you use to train, but the good news, bad news about that sort of snappy type of effort is that it's you lose it quickly, but you can also regain it quickly. So if you got a watt per kilo disqualified from your race, it sounds like your actual FTP, like your base fitness, is still really good. So that's good news. So it really sounds like you're basically holding the knife. You just got to sharpen the pointy end. If that analogy makes sense. Yeah, it'll definitely come back. I would advise you to just start doing like 1 or 2 VO2 max sessions a week. Do one to start off and just see how your knee handles it. And take it from there. Whew. Y'all, this course is a monster. Yeah, Murphy is right about that. There's a lot more than max power that goes into sprinting. A whole lot more. Same, Murphy. My sort of cultivating like how to sprint on the trainer has my raw like max power numbers have gone way up. Uh-oh. Patrick, I think Paul might tell on you. You've got some other WKG Winter League people in here. I gotta say, it's good to see everybody. See everybody, read your messages, whatever, hang out. After a week off, good to be back. All right. Try to get in some good sweet spot work here. I don't know if Andras is watching the stream right now. He said the oh, he's a streamer. If any of you guys watch streaming on Facebook, Andras Tribal, check him out on there. I've been streaming a lot of RGT recently. But he made this this route completely bonkers, making it 2 laps. Brutal. Although any of us could grab the Magic Road code, put it on here, and set up an event with however many laps we wanted. And you could throw bots in or whatever. Have any of you guys seen the NorCal cyclist video about sprinting on the trainer? I think that's sort of like, so basically he complains about how a Zwift sprint is not a real sprint because you can't put out the same numbers for real and the mechanics are a little different. And if y'all don't know who that is, he's in terms of like category, he's like an elite amateur guy, the kind of person who would be beating me in my local races if I lived in California. But he's a really good sprinter, both skills and power-wise. Yeah. it really is like, I think it's kind of the same thing as when you watch triathletes jump in and then just get waxed in a sprint. It's like the same thing of being mad that like the skill you've cultivated doesn't necessarily translate. Patrick, do you use any like do you do the workouts on Swift or Trainer Road or any of that? Or are you just racing is training and training is racing? I would say if you're looking for like bang for your buck in terms of like, I have this amount of time and I need to get as fast as I can in that time. Yeah, Murphy, I agree. We need to get NorCal on RGT. Maybe I can get him to do the, this is an idea. We need to get NorCal Cycling onto my team for the Project Echelon stuff. I know that he will recognize and respect the races that are being ported over to the virtual world. Like, he's done Tour of America's Dairyland and Gateway Cup, or he at least knows about them and respects them as institutions. That would be a great get. Yeah, Patrick, I think especially Trainer Road is really good bang for your buck. If you you're time limited, but you're already doing Zwift workouts, that probably qualifies as polarized. So I'm kind of doing the same as Murphy right now. Really, the thing is that some of the stuff that matters in an outdoor race doesn't matter indoor, and vice versa. So I think you could, you know, put him at the front of the pack and all that, but he's not like, he's not on Zwift, not going to know where to watch for the red numbers, all that stuff. Patrick, honestly, the less volume you're doing, the more polarized is better. I normally, this time of year, if there was cyclocross coming up, I would be doing a cyclocross training plan on Trainer Road, their low volume plan, which is only like 3-4 hours of hard workouts a week. But those workouts are really hard, street workouts. And oh, okay. He's coming for me a little. Gotta get up and over here. Whew. All right, polarized training. Yeah, so honestly, if you have really limited time, it makes sense to spend that time doing a really structured interval workout, because that's going to give you the best bang for your buck. I would normally, this time of year, be doing 3 trainer road workouts a week, each of those like around an hour, but very hard. And then basically around those workouts, just getting in however many rides felt right, and all of them easy and outside. And that way, I'm getting some skills work. So those easy outside rides for cross season would be a lot of skills work on my cross bike, meaning like ride over to a football field, do some laps around it in the grass, working on turns, lay some cones down and bunny hop them, that kind of thing. Or just ride my cross bike over to the local trails and do some easy riding on the single track on my cross bike. I will say it's no coincidence. The strongest I've ever been to date was off the back of a polarized plan. I really followed a trainer road plan to the T. And I think I got up right around 5.1 watts a kilo at TP. Yeah, Murphy, I think you learn a lot more. I actually really like going out on mountain bike rides with teammates that are not as good of mountain bikers as I am. And what I'll do is try to pedal as little as possible and also break as little as possible and keep up with them. And see if I can really use my momentum and use my handling. And when you do that, you sort of can work on techniques that, like, maybe corners that you're totally blowing when you're going full speed. You can find the line or find where your weight should be or whatever. And then as you ramp that speed back up, you can apply that technique you learned at a lower speed, which sounds so obvious, but it took me a long time to learn it. Hey, 100 messages within the Restream chat. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, totally. Easy trail riding. The thing is, it doesn't have to be, though. Like, if you're just going and riding trails easy and you're not thinking about it, it's easy to just kind of putt around and not really get anything done. But if you're actively thinking, like, what corners or what skills or whatever normally trip you up, and you're like trying some stuff out, trying some different techniques to fix that stuff, it can really help. It just depends. Hey, I just turned my game audio up. Let me know if that's too loud, but I want to get some of that, the noise of the spinning wheels. I don't know. I think yeah. It is funny that I agree with you on the grinding yourself to a pulp thing, because I did just get done with 21 stages of grinding myself to a pulp 90% of the time. Ooh, yeah, 6 a.m. start is rough, Patrick. All right, I got a good gap here, but I'm going to try to keep my head in it. Try and go pretty hard on all these uphills. Yeah. I will say, I think there is something to a stage race or a speed week every now and again to really push your body past its limits a little bit. I think that, I don't want to say helps, but I don't know. It's just good to get out of your comfort zone sometimes. And I'll say, Vive la France definitely pushed my comfort zones. And I think, I mean, this isn't even an I think, this is just true. If you're habituated I think I'm pretty habituated to 2 to 3 hard sessions a week. Really, I know that my FTP is higher, and I know that my ability to sit at a high percentage of my FTP for a long time is higher. Steady riding, long, steady riding right around threshold has always been my downfall. And with all the super long climbs on VLF, it really forced me to work on that physiologically, but also mentally. So I think like by the end of it, it really is like half physical and half mental. I think I probably put about 10 watts on my FTP, but then just mentally, I'm able to push myself to the actual physical capability now, where I used to just not. I just didn't know where the limits were, so I was always afraid to go over because, I mean, you see it all the time. When someone really goes over their limits and truly blows up, you can lose a lot of time, lose the group, whatever. So I think I was always afraid to like butt up against those limits, but VLF forced me to find the limit and then just get comfortable living there. I think that's the biggest thing it gave me. Ironically, I think all of that RGT racing is going to make me a lot better of a Zwift racer because so many of the stages ended up playing at the time trial after a certain point. So many of them were basically an uphill time trial. That's kind of how Zwift racing plays. Is like you spend a lot of time right above or right below threshold, and then you sprint. And a lot of time right around threshold thing has up to now been what I was the worst. Yeah, Murphy, I've seen that study, and that's why I have generally stuck to 2 or 3 hard sessions a week. But I think when your body habituates to anything too much, it's not that you stop getting benefit, but your body gets too comfortable and you're not making new adaptations. So I think VLF, if anything, forced some new adaptations, I think. I'll say this bit, Billy. I think my ability to recover is also higher. I think I can do a harder effort. Yeah, I think it's a mixture of the two because like there are people who are straight up fitter than me. Laverick is a good example, but he's also really good at knowing what he's capable of. I don't think I was before VLF. I feel like I'm closer to his level of like mental ability to just like suffer and also not go over my limit. It's not just like willingness to hurt yourself. I know a lot of riders, especially in real life. There's some I'm not gonna put anyone on blast here, but there's some juniors in my local area who are very strong, maybe as strong as me, maybe stronger given certain conditions or whatever, certain forces, but they will just rip these huge efforts like at random, times that don't make sense or even times that do make sense, but like if this is their limit, they'll attack and go here and then just blow themselves up and be out the back. I think Murphy knows who I'm talking about. It's honestly more than just who you're thinking of, Murphy. There's a few. But most of them this year excluded on the local group rides or the regular race series stuff. It's like they either win or they get last because they don't know where that limiter is. So their willingness to just blast through the limit, you know, it's exciting to watch, and it's valiant. Yeah, that is, I think as a junior, you do just sort of have to try a bunch of stuff, throw things at the wall and see what sticks. I'm honestly envious of them even like having the chance to do that. Because coming into the sport later, I felt like I started racing when I was 24, and I'm 32 now. So I felt like I was kind of coming in on the back foot a little bit, and I had to really figure it out and get my stuff together quickly. And like, even when I was a Cat 4 or Cat 5, I felt like I had to be racing as smart as I absolutely could, or else I was just getting blown out the back. But when you're a junior, you maybe have some more of those tickets to spend. Yeah, Murphy, that can be hard in XC, I think, because sometimes, like, you're not racing wheel to wheel with those people, so it's harder to see exactly, like, where the crucial moments are and what you're doing wrong. Like, you know, you attack hard off the start, get a big gap, and blow yourself up. People just come back to you, and you don't really see how they got there. You don't see how steady they were riding or what corners they weren't braking in. I think if you are an analytical guy, it's a little bit easier in road racing because the moment you get dropped is the moment you get dropped, and then you'll realize, like, oh, I should have moved up before that corner, or, you know, I need to sag climb that hill, or what, like, whatever the situation is. Like, the brake went away, and all those guys, everyone in the pack has a teammate up there, and now they're not chasing. So next time I need to chase that. So, like, Patrick, I think that's just kind of the nature of Zwift racing. And I think that's why I kind of like the dynamics on RGT a little bit more. It's a little more tactical and a little bit less of an FTP test, I find, generally. Oh my God, we're almost there. Yo, thanks to everybody who's hanging out, sticking with me for the super long one on the Imola course. I think I'm doing half of what the pros are doing, but getting a good look at it. So tomorrow, when I'm on the couch, eating food and yelling at WOW, I'll have like some sort of idea of what these ponds are like, how long they are, how they're spaced out, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully you guys will too. Huh. Yeah, that's true, Billy. That is one of the things I hate the most in e-racing is people just rage quitting. Like, oh, I got dropped from the lead group. Quit. Like, I don't know. That's just whack to me. Patrick, my main focus this winter is going to be the Echelon racing stuff on Zwift. On RGT. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a link in the description. I believe it's labeled, check out this series coming to RGT. But I'm going to be, the plan is, we race with a pro team, and they've apparently got 17 men's pro teams signed up, and that's like 60% real life pro teams 40% e-racing teams. So I'm going to get on one of those e-racing teams, and that'll be my focus. I may drop into some races here and there. I definitely will drop into races here and there on Zwift and stuff. I won't do another full series because a series is such a commitment. I'm going to tailor the racing that I end up doing. I'm going to tailor it a little bit more around what kind of training I need. Having said that, I don't know what I'm doing today. I am planning to do sort of a deep dive video on Vive la France. I'm going to build a spreadsheet, put a lot of my numbers in there, do a little bit of analysis, see what, if anything, I can learn from that stuff. But I've definitely got some takeaways. Yeah, it really has. I mean, Patrick, I was not racing inside at all before COVID. I was doing some training on the trainer, but I had literally never done a Zwift race, never done an RGT race. But I was coming into the season with decent fitness, did a couple early season road races, and the day I was actually supposed to be racing a USA Crits race, the day everything shut down. And felt good, felt fit, went for a century ride with some of the pro teams, and like Automatic was doing lead out practice and said that we could hang if we wanted to. I was the only local guy who could hang on their lead out train. So I felt like, oh, I got all this fitness, I did all this work, everything got canceled. So immediately, I just started looking for what was out there in the e-racing world. Yo, that was hard. That was really hard. We went so hard on that first lap. Let's see what these numbers look like. But yeah, I would not be here. I would be racing a normal outdoor season if not for COVID. But I gotta say, we're kind of making lemonade out of lemons. I feel like. I mean, I've enjoyed all the like getting into the streaming thing, being able to race. Like I've raced with Murphy a bunch this season. I normally would not have been able to do that. Yeah, the way it took off, it was really cool. Like when everything was shut down, to just get on Zwift and like jump in there with random, like I would just get in a random crit and be like, oh, that guy's on Israeli Cycling Academy or like whatever. That was cool. I really enjoyed it. I think that really hooked me. But then all the sort of pitfalls that people always complain about with Zwift, like it's an FTP test, there's not enough tactics, all that stuff. I started thinking like there's got to be more options out here, and that's when I ended up on RGT. I just figured there had to be some other options that existed, and I found RGT at a perfect time when the community was kind of popping off. Having said that, definitely still plan to race RGT. Yeah, Paul, it does. Yeah, it will auto save to your Strava. You just have to enable it, kind of like you do on Zwift. You just have to go into your profile and connect it. But yeah, this ride's already on my Strava actually. It just popped up. My activity is ready to view. So that's cool. And it'll connect to other stuff too. Anyway. I might be doing a race with Murphy tomorrow if he hits me up. I might ride outside tomorrow. Regardless, be on the lookout for the overall Vive la France breakdown video. I will get that out ASAP. Appreciate you guys hanging out.